The aim of the D-Board Consortium is to bring together leading academic institutions and European small and medium enterprises to focus on the identification, validation and qualification of new combination biomarkers and the development of diagnostic tests capable of subclinical disease diagnosis for degenerative and inflammatory diseases of joints.
My expectation, hopefully, is to come up with a list of candidate markers that could potentially be taken forward to the next phase of assay development. And some of these assays could be potentially very useful for the research community as well as the pharmaceutical industry. Without the markers, the drugs are very, very difficult to progress in the drug development pathway. So, in fact, they could be spending a lot of money on drugs that won't actually have a future without the markers. So if we had the markers, they would be able to use the markers and make the drug discovery process a lot more efficient and take out drugs that have adverse effects, for example, safety and toxicity issues early on, and focus on the more promising drugs and compounds.
We're interested in the genetic basis of osteoarthritis, how the disease is transmitted within individuals, within large families. We're curious to know what causes it at the genetic basis. So why do some people develop it and other people do not? And we've decided to kind of focus on a number of different genes within the human genome and try and work out which ones are involved in this disease. And then to see if that information can enable us to develop novel biomarkers so that we can identify individuals that are at increased risk. And once we've identified those biomarkers, to then see if we can use those to develop potentially new therapeutics. We plan on using material from patients' tissues, so we're particularly interested in those individuals that have osteoarthritis and have had to have their joints replaced. We know that those individuals have a high genetic load for the disease. We know that they have a severe form of the disease.
We analyze MRI scans that are made from these patients, and then we try to do sophisticated analysis in an automated way. So what is normally done is that these MRIs are studied by a radiologist, and the radiologist then has to screen through the entire data set of the MRI because it's a 3D image. So he has to go slice by slice, and then evaluate what he sees, whether there's cartilage damage or there's some bone involvement or there's inflammation and things like that, so you can make an overall score. What we're trying to do in our work package is to automate it and to do it in a computer program that actually automatically sort of gives us the parameters that we think are important for the degenerative processes that occur.
New biomarkers for the detection of and also the follow-up of osteoarthritis in the fluids of human, like synovial fluid, serum and urine, and then after, of course, to develop immunoassay for measuring these new biomarkers in large cohort.
Our strength of these 5 partners is actually that we have expertise in preclinical models and we have access to human cohorts and to which we apply actually this omics technology. And we have first promising data already that show that metabolites such as lipids could be used as biomarkers for OA. So we're really exciting and we think we can really contribute to this D-Board project with coming up with new biomarkers of OA.
The technical validation is trying to confer all the robustness and the sensitivity of the different assays that we want to integrate in future clinical trials. And the clinical validation is to make sure that we select the right biomarkers for the right purpose, say that we want to identify prognostic biomarker, diagnostic biomarkers, or markers of efficacy.
Our work package is in some way at the center of the project, because we are going to receive data generated by all the other work packages at all the levels of omics, imaging, clinical data, and then we are going to analyze it, but not just analyze different pieces of data, but creating a unified picture, integrating all the analysis to see what we can find in common that connects everything together, and first provides mechanistic explanations for saying, okay, this is what the data is telling us, but also identifying prognostic biomarkers.
These projects are for practical outcomes for the patients, to get new treatments, to get new diagnoses, and as a company, that's also our goal, to contribute this process. Of course, in this process, large pharma companies are extremely important, but smaller companies like SMEs, like my company, they can take a very good role.
This project has received funding from the European Union's 7th Framework Programme for Research, Technological Development and Demonstration.